faster.
Can you read those?
It's 5:30, so I'll call the meeting to order. Michelle, would you do a roll call, please?
Steve Herron,
Here.
Carol Longcom, here. Nicole Jacobs.
Here.
Gina Ralph.
Here.
Danny Workmeister.
Here.
All right, if you please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay. Any questions or discussions on the motion?
Should I ask for removal of one item off the consent agenda now, or do that later?
You would have to do it now.
Okay. I'd like to remove 4B, consent item.
Okay. Can you make that be? Let's make that be 11B between 11 and 12. Any other questions or discussion?
Is that an amendment or? How's that?
Actually, we should probably do that under item number 4, under approval of the consent agenda. I would probably incorrect in that, doing that right now, so, and if you're okay with that, let's hold that until we go to agenda item number 4. When we would act on approval of the consent agenda or removing the items from.
That's
Item
fine,
24, okay.
Okay,
That's fine.
okay, let's go back. We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Questions on that? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say aye. Carry. All right. Item number 3 is our public forum. Welcome to all of you. If you want to, if you're presenting on one of the other items, you can speak at that time. If you are here to comment on any of the items and not as a presenter, now would be the time to have your opportunity to speak. Linda,
Yes, Linda Hydros, I have to say that right.
you do. Address?
117 South Maple.
Thank you.
I already talked to Kelly about the tree pole in the front yard, and he explained that. Also, I would like to recommend to the council, I have been doing some serious looking at, because of the costs of our grid and for our sewer system and all, the state of Iowa received $80 million from the federal government. And right now, there are forms online that you can apply for grants with no money paid back for things for the county, the city. And I know Sioux County does a lot of this, but how come, I don't foresee that O'Brien County does very much of this. And I think now is the time for us to go after some of that money. $80 million is a lot of money, and I think we deserve it.
Absolutely.
So there is a form online to file for that. It doesn't matter if it's for the sewer, it doesn't, if it's for the electric grid, if it's for the fire station, or whatever they choose to file for that money for. And with a lot of hope, we can get some. And also, I would like to talk to the discussion about appointing a TCA board member for Paullina.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm allowed to recommend someone.
This is public forum, this is your opportunity to.
Okay,
Sure.
well, I am going to recommend John Ely. He has been with TCA, and I know you guys axed him big time, but he knows TCA. He knows the programs, he knows how it operates. And I think overall, he would be a very good person to put back on that board. Other than that, I can shut up.
All right, if you would provide that grant information, Michelle, we would.
I can do that very easily, and I really think we need to apply.
We can apply, but once we've accepted bids on these two projects, we can't apply for grants for those.
Well, can we apply for something that's not,
For
Well, I think
future.
It had to be for
Fire
some
department,
future.
you know, we need street repairs,
Yeah.
we need,
We can do
the
it
fire
ours.
department
Yeah.
needs a new fire shed.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things that this town needs. I grab the money and
Yeah.
run with it.
All right,
Michelle, if you get a hold of Ben, I think he's been taking care of a lot of the fire department stuff.
all right, thank you.
We're not
Mary?
I just have a quick question.
So, first of all, say your name,
Oh,
address.
I'm sorry,
This is for.
Mary Radke, Sutherland, Iowa. I have a question about if an address is confidential information for purposes of a utility bill, why is it required in a public meeting?
Take that under advisement.
Thank you.
Okay. Lori, so you're under your agenda item? Yep. Agenda? Okay. And you didn't get any inquiries or form? All right, we will move on to item number 4, consent agenda. This would be the time to remove any consent agenda items. If you want to do so.
I'd like to remove item B.
Make that be 11B. If there's no other changes, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say aye. Carried. All right. Let's see. Presentation by Paullina Chamber of Commerce and Jamboree.
Hi, my name is Tammy Evans, and I'm here to chat with you guys about the schedule for this year for the Jamboree. Appreciate you all letting me come and just kind of explaining what we'd like to do. That's okay.
I figured that.
So this year is the 15th annual Jamboree, so it's a big year for us. We're gonna kick it off on Friday with our 3rd annual golf outing. We had, the first year we had it, it got rained out, but last year it was awesome. We had a great turnout and I think everyone had a lot of fun. And then Paullina Legion is going to, and along with the fire department, they're gonna have a dance and a meal at the Legion Friday night. And we have added a slow pitch tournament also this year. We had a lot of people asking if we were gonna bring it back, cause we should have an alternative to a golf outing, and not everybody golfs, so this helps get more people in town for that. And then, we're also encouraging the people that are in the tournaments to go to the Legion to help support our fundraiser there also. Side note, we don't have a liquor license this year for the city park. We don't have enough volunteers to have that, so we just didn't do that this year. Saturday, we'll have the parade at 1 again. This year, we're gonna have them line up a little bit different, so I'm hoping that they won't be so bulky over there, and I'm trying to direct every way and stuff. I've asked everybody to start at the edge of town, on South Central Street, and then go, and then just work their way up to the church. so that, we can actually be formalized in an actual line this year.
Should that be at
So-
Mamie Street or at Bertha Street in Center?
I
Which
think,
way do they come? Yeah.
well, I thought it was South Central Street and West Central. I thought that's what it
I don't
was.
think we have a
No.
west
We got
center.
center.
We have a south,
Center.
center.
Oh, Center.
We have a south,
Center.
we have a south center, but we
Yes.
don't have a west center.
Okay, so it's Bertha then.
So it'd be Bertha, or
Bertha.
the furthest south one
The
would be,
So
one way on
furthest-
the edge of town
yes.
is Mamie.
that's
Yeah,
Mamie.
that's
Mamie.
Yep, that's, yeah, so it's gonna, they're gonna follow it around
Oh, that
and
around.
then come up and then end up at the church.
Okay, so it's,
And we're gonna have like 3 people with me this year to help direct, so that it's a little bit, not quite so chaotic too, so
Okay.
hopefully. I'm learning as I go, but I think after all these years, I should.
They lined up on that street last year on Main Street.
Yes, but I had to direct them.
Oh,
I'm like, they got there and I was like, okay, go all the way back.
Oh, I
So
see.
this way I told them ahead of time.
yeah,
They start back there and then I'll have somebody sitting over there and then they're gonna work their way up.
yeah.
So hopefully that works this year.
okay,
And then after that, we're gonna have, of course, in the park, we're gonna have a party in the park with the inflatables, dunk tank, car show, the pedal pole, ice cream, and pie. Anybody wanna make a pie? And then, during that time too, when we have that, we are asking the tournament to take a break for liability, so that we don't have balls coming over and hitting kids and stuff like that, so just to keep safe on that. Saturday night, we're gonna have, Paullina Hardware, they're gonna do the, paddler Olympics again, I think that goes over really good. If you guys could do your share too of letting others know of that too, because I don't think that we get enough audience on that, or people knowing that we even have that out there, because it's a lot of fun. People that go out there to that, they just have so much fun. It's a good family thing for people to do. And then, afterwards, of course, we're gonna have our fireworks out there too. This year, we're gonna have Selsma's, they're gonna do the fireworks this year for us though. They do have their own license, so we're good to go with that. So hopefully it's gonna be just a little bit different, a little bit of a different, presentation. And then Saturday night, and Sunday night, we're doing a movie, at the theater. And, what's the movie? What do we have this year?
Inside Out too.
Inside Out. And then also too, we're talking to the, churches to see once if we can get a church to have a church service in the park on Sunday morning. Either the park or out of the lake, whatever works. So more to come with that. We did ask Presbyterian Church, they're gonna talk about it this week at their meeting. So they have a new pastor coming in, so I'm hoping that. So what are we asking for the city? We're just asking that the streets, be cleaned off, grass be mowed, especially at the park, and garbage be emptied. Same streets that we've had for 15 years blocked off. And, we are wanting the Main and Grand blocked off from 11 to 2 or at least until the, parade is over with, so that we can block some of the traffic off. And then also if we could have someone afterwards, people are pretty good about taking them down afterwards, I think, but, cause we're busy in the park trying to get that all situated, if someone can take down the barricades afterwards. We also like to have as many vehicles there as possible, so if anyone wants to be in the parade, we would love to have you in the parade. We have the, fire department's always there, ambulances are always there, our police officers are always there. It just would be nice to have even more represented in our parade. And then also would like to have barricades for Main and Commerce to start, of the park events. And then Mickley, so like Humcont's Road there, and Harms, we can kind of block off that, cause traffic comes in there, and to the H&M. There's traffic that sometimes come in that way. If we could get something there so that we can block off people from wanting to come towards us.
He's done that before too.
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
there's trailers or something in the way.
Okay. You guys have any questions for me?
So the council will have to act on the street closures, so if you could
Okay.
list those out for us, and we'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting.
We have this jamboree every year.
Mhm.
Shouldn't we make maybe an ordinance to have the streets blocked off, the same streets each time we have the jamboree? Do we not have to do this every year? Just a thought.
Well, why
It is the
don't we
same.
wait until after this year, because you're changing it a little bit.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then see,
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
you
and then
do.
come back to us if you feel that next week or whenever works for you in July, to let us know how you feel, that maybe we could do that as an
Right.
ordinance then.
There you go.
Because then you don't have to hassle that again, if it all works for you.
Right.
And we need to tell you or any of the chamber members, if they want, you can get people to bring extra pies or wherever you're at, or you're just putting it out there.
Yeah, we're putting it out on social media, and
Okay.
then, yeah, cause if they can just bring it to the scout house,
Right.
just leave them there at the scout house just that day, I mean, it's fine, you know, we'll have tables sitting outside even if they just wanna sit it
Do they
outside the
need
door.
Someone will be there too.
coolers?
Yeah,
Put 'em
someone's
in
usually
coolers
there.
or Whatever. I don't know if there's any fridge or anything in there anymore, is there?
There's a little one.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I've had some already too at my house. I've got a couple fridges, but whether you can get them all back, I don't know.
Let's see, who in the past has organized the silent auction at the golf course, and are they doing that again, or is?
Yeah,
Is that
we'll be
happening
doing
again?
that.
So that's not on here, but are we publicizing that so that people
Yeah,
find out about that?
Usually with that though, it's whoever is going to participate in the golf tournament,
So
you know, then those are the people that will
Okay.
do the silent auction. A lot of people just don't come out for that, but we can if, we do that too.
Yeah, we could,
We've come out for just that before.
right, people would come out for a drink or something and then just, yeah, check out, see what we got for
Sure.
silent auction.
You don't wanna golf?
Probably golf that day,
Oh.
a couple things going on,
You're gonna be in the parade.
yes.
Okay.
Ooh, the mayor's in the parade.
We're in the parade, and I could use some council members to help hand out goodies.
Okay, well, keep that in
So either
mind.
be in the parade with a parade entry, or you can help me.
No pressure.
Are you blocking?
My old truck,
Oh, you're over here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Good idea.
Yeah.
You need a big banner then, so they know.
And you have an announcer this year, I heard, is that still
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah, we're gonna, yeah,
KCHE?
yes.
KCHE.
Good.
Yeah, Lori did a great job last year. We had a little bit of a,
Well, here's,
she made do with what she had last year.
when you do those things, print them on cardstock.
Yes, yeah, well, actually carbon copies is what I understood, but that they do in Sunland. They do it carbon copies.
Put on
and then they-
cardstock.
So it's thicker?
Oh,
They try to hold on in
So it's
yeah,
thicker and they,
yeah, they gave
don't-
me
they
what
won't blow
they
away.
use, so then I was gonna order the same thing that they use,
maybe
because it
it's
seems to
able.
work for them, so.
If KCHE's on before they can take their direction.
But Amber stopped and helped, so it was an ambulance team effort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you. I'm off to the races, literally.
So put that on the agenda for next month. Okay, we'll move on to item number 6, Town and Country Disposal Contract Renewal. First is a presentation from the Town and Country representative.
I am Josh Rittenhouse. I'm the site manager of Town and Country Disposal now. Brad finally retired. So the contract for trash and recycling removal for the city of Paullina is scheduled to expire on the 30th of this month. We would like to propose a new 5-year contract. The rate would be $5,362.77. There'd be a $361.02 increase, 7.2% roughly. And then the residential recycling would go from $1.50 to $2 per home. with fuel and parts are through the roof, we gotta do a little something. So they wanted me to try to shoot for 15 and I told them that I couldn't do that. So I didn't feel right coming here and asking for a 15% increase. So.
That's good.
Very nice of you.
I do what I can.
There you go.
You know what that increase is per resident, or,
I don't.
because it's a tonnage, is what I mean.
Yeah. I know it's all based on how many cans, which I don't have that information, but I can figure it out for sure.
So you mentioned here a new 5-year contract, our current contract that expired was a 2-year, 5-year.
I think we just did an extension.
You're right.
Because I know we didn't do
22
it.
and 23.
Yeah, I know we didn't do an increase,
No, we left it the same.
left it the same, so that was one of the reasons why they wanted me to try to get 15, was because we hadn't had an increase for quite a while, so. And we can gladly bring it down a little bit too, if you guys would like.
Yes.
Always.
No, I mean from a 5-year to a lesser
Oh, I
year.
thought you meant right.
I was like, wow, I didn't know that was an option.
No, I apologize.
I think this is good.
No
for
takes
Friday.
is back seats.
Right. Good try though, Marla.
Does anybody else have any questions for me, or?
I do.
Okay.
Okay, we've talked about, guys, where you have someone bring in the extra tonnage that is picked up by the guys at the dumpsters.
Yes.
How do they know whether it's a quarter or a half or whatever? Do you have a scale somehow? like
It's
the
all
driver's
just based on the dumpster size, so a normal size dumpster that most businesses have is like 1.5 yards.
Okay,
Some of them are bigger, but, so we just kind of know
you
if it's
eyeball it.
half full, yes, it's pretty much
I
eyeball.
wondered.
You know,
We wondered.
if it's a couple bags, it's, a 1/4 yard probably. If it's half full, it's 3/4 or a yard.
Okay, I wondered how you were doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we don't have any scales or anything like that. Like I said, it's all just, I try to tell the guys, if it's a lot of cardboard, a lot of stuff that's not real heavy, give a little break on the yardage.
Okay.
Whether that happens, they say it does in our meetings, but,
Okay.
unless, and when I go out on ride-alongs and stuff with them, then
Let's see.
I've always tried to make sure that they're doing something like that, so.
Commercial use, you get so many yards anywhere, cubic yards before there's an additional charge. What is
I
it?
believe that's how it's used.
You know what that number is? Is it 6 or 7?
I'm not sure. 'Cause that's something that you guys bill for, so.
Oh, I see.
I just scan the yardage sheet over every month, so.
Okay. I'd make a suggestion that maybe we go with the 4-year contract, because that's kind of how the council turns over every 4 years. That way we're not handcuffing that next council, because this would be one of the first things that we do, so that's just a suggestion.
There's probably been an increase at the end of every contract, so we would be losing a year of fixed price.
Yeah.
I think this,
This price is fixed for the
yeah,
Yes.
it'll be okay.
Well, and it's all staggered, the
Right.
numbers, so.
Right, I think it'll be okay. Because we're checking ours every year too, so.
So in this proposal, you've got the rates, otherwise is the wording the same as with the previous contract?
I have a whole new one, because it went from a 5-page contract to a 17-page contract, so. I will just leave that here,
Okay, so
and you guys can go over it.
So have legal counsel, maybe that over or fresh it. We can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I've talked to Primgar, and now they do not charge, their Orange City Sanitation does not charge them for the landfill fees, but you guys let landfill charge us.
Yes.
Is that what you've just always done, or what?
Yeah, so I'm not sure why it's that way here in town. It's kind of, every town is a little different. Some towns we pay the landfill for, some towns they pay the landfill for. Why it is set up that way,
Okay, that's what
I
I
am
wondered.
not sure.
Okay,
Because I know Primgar used to pay their own landfill when we did their service too, before OC took over.
okay,
So I'm not,
okay. Because I know we did get a bid from them already.
Sure.
what their increases were gonna be. So,
Yeah,
From the landfill.
so I just kinda wondered
yeah,
if,
So you just factor that into your monthly rate, whether you're paying it or.
yeah, so like if we pay the landfill in other towns, like once we get whatever, it's gotta be negotiable, whatever the landfill increases, then we have to increase that as well.
Yep.
So this way, if you guys pay your own landfill fees, then you just have to pay the increase whenever they do it, we don't have to renegotiate our terms.
you're just going for the actual pickup and dump.
Yeah.
Any questions for town and country?
And on the Jamboree, if you guys do need, and I should have said that before too, but if you do need extra containers, we will donate those, we'll donate a couple extra dumpsters, a couple extra trash cans.
Oh,
If we
Take
want
one out
them,
here too.
if we want them, you know, kind of scattered out, you know, some normal household trash cans, we will drop them off wherever you guys need.
That'd be great.
nice.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
I would
Yeah.
think we'd wanna
Thank
plan on
you.
that right
Yep.
now.
Yeah, then we don't
Yeah.
have to,
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind of,
Do you have like your contact information, like a business
I
card or
actually-
something that I can get from you? Perfect. Thank you.
yeah, just let me know, just give me a call, my cell phone, or shoot me an email or something, and I always do that stuff on the side, just 'cause
Appreciate that. That's great.
it's never been something that we've offered, but, you know, you guys are doing a town celebration, and we, you know, obviously, we're a service provider in your town, we wanna have our signage out there too,
Sure.
and, you know, be
Sure.
able to contribute, so there'd be no charge for that.
That'd be great. Thank you.
thank you.
She'd probably like you to be in the parade.
I was just gonna,
I
I
was
was
actually
thinking
thinking
it.
that myself too.
There you go.
I think I'm actually out of town that week, but I will see if somebody else will run a truck down, I will
Yeah,
too.
that'd be great. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Right.
If you guys ever do a touch, you know, like touch a truck, you know, on a separate weekend, or even during the week, if somebody wants to see one in a school or something, you guys just let us know a couple days ahead of time, we'll make that. As long as they're not all built cars.
Yeah.
Cause that happens.
No, that'd
No,
be-
perfect.
that'd be
I
perfect,
will
yes.
get a hold of you then.
Yeah, please do.
Any other
Great.
questions? All right, thank you.
You bet.
Our next agenda item is to consider the contract. From what I'm thinking here with the contract, that's probably something that we will act on at the next meeting on the 19th. So
Okay.
we have time to look
Look
at
at
that.
it.
Makes sense.
And I think Nicole gave us, or sent us, or somehow we got the landfill stuff too that we'll have to consider when we do our fees and stuff.
Michelle?
Michelle, who did I say?
Me?
Oh, sorry. Duh.
Well, call Michelle, Mom
Yeah.
Michelle.
Just mom would be easy, huh? Sure.
Yep. Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So then I would say 6B, we don't really have anything more, unless you want to have further discussion on that to prepare for the next meeting agenda item. Any thoughts?
If they provide a copy, or can we review the copy of the contract to council, or how?
No copy, she can get you copies right away after this.
That's what you just handed me.
If you could, scan that and email it out to all of us.
That, yep, that's what I wondered.
It's all 17 pages, you said?
Yeah, but it's not true.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay,
Okay, perfect.
anything else? Okay, we'll move on to item number 7, mailbox ordinance, which we discussed somewhat at the last meeting. We have that information here. Which would have been, this one came from Tisha, right?
Yes.
From our city attorney, took our information and drafted this ordinance that's in your packet. So I would entertain a motion to approve the mailbox ordinance resolution attached.
I'll move. Ordinance number, whatever it is, an ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Paullina, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to mailboxes.
Do we have a second?
I will second.
Sure. Okay, discussion.
So does this replace the current ordinance that we have, or how does that?
This would fully replace this paragraph that so this is 15.14, this would replace our current 15.14,
Okay.
section 1.
Or you had that in our old packet last year, or two weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
After a little deeper dive into this, makes me wonder why we're even involved in that process. Because everything's, to me, the way this reads and some of the information that we received is the United States is kind of in the driver's seat on the end of this.
The only reason we are is because we have that current ordinance. Other towns don't have that, so because we do, that's the only reason why we're,
We could delete it completely, like he's saying, but I kind of wondered that last paragraph, Danny, where it says a violation, and if they don't keep their mailboxes up, and, you know, it maybe, I don't know how good the post office is always gonna see all of that, or know about it. They should from their carriers, but then I feel at least we have a little teeth there, that we can say, we pick it up, or clean it up, according to the post office.
And I don't disagree with that, but my question there would be, what are the penalties? There's nothing in the ordinance that says,
Oh, I was thinking we did have a penalty, but we don't, do we?
not that I saw. The other thing that my comment would be is that under the old ordinance, 15.14, it outlines what the mailboxes should look like, how they should be installed, what color, so on and so forth. Do we still want that or not? I'm indifferent, actually.
Most of these, like the one on North Nickley, is going to be a cluster box. So, you know, it won't,
That's just one of them.
yeah, that's just one of them, you know, like the ones on Maple Street are the individual ones.
Right.
I don't think it really needs to matter what color they are or
I don't
anything
think
like
so.
that.
One of the reasons, as I thought back to my previous time on the council, we spoke about this, the reason we decided not to do anything is all those post office boxes that are not according to the ordinance. What do we do with those? Exactly.
Well, I know the only one I remember was on Maple Street, because it was on one of the utility poles, and they finally did take it off.
A lot of the post office boxes don't conform to this old ordinance, so if we went with the new ordinance, I think that would get rid of that issue. Or would it, or would it not?
I would say that there's no requirements and stipulations. The post office oversees, and it has to be to their standards to deliver mail to that box, is what I understand.
Well, and then going back to what we previously spoke about with infractions and so on, why would we not, if we see something out there, why would we not just send a letter to the post office and say, look, this is the situation, you have all the authority here, please take care of it. And then we wouldn't have to be working with the individual box holder either.
True.
I would recommend that that be a good procedure to put in place, and the city clerk would just contact the post office on
Right.
what's to happen.
Because really, the end user is their customer, it's not ours.
Well, and then on top of that, I think if the rule, I think the mail deliverer should talk to the post office. I don't even think Michelle should have to be in person.
Well, if we got down to that, I guess,
Okay.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think what
But
you
it's
say
the
is
carrier
if one of our
that's-
residents complains to the city, do we
Depends
just
on
say,
how
let's talk to the
bad.
postmaster, or do we let
Yeah,
them know?
carriers.
Probably is.
Right. Yeah.
And here, we don't have any specific penalty, but in our ordinance, we have an overall penalty for first notification, second notification. And I think
don't think we have to add anything to this then, or what are we thinking?
As for,
Do we need to change anything then?
I think we can just go with it.
Let's see what now.
Okay.
Or we would just wanna get rid of it and get out of the process. I mean,
But yeah,
to me, there's really nothing, I shouldn't say nothing, very little that isn't controlled by the United States Postal Service. But, I mean, they're listed in the first 3 paragraphs, and it's all about the United States Postal Service, which they should be doing anyway.
so currently we have a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance as it is written. If someone would like to change anything, propose an amendment, or something like that.
This would remove us from, for lack of a better word, remove us from the liability of enforcing. It goes to the post office. So either way, if we put this in place, or we completely did nothing, and removed the mailbox ordinance, I think the end result is the same.
I honestly don't think we need an ordinance for it, but that's just my feeling. I mean, if we're taking off all liability, like you had said, we have nothing to do for, I mean,
Right.
I don't understand why we even need to have an ordinance for it.
I think why we're talking about this is that the postal service came to us and said, you know, we approved this request by the residents on the two blocks of North Mickey, but we see that you have an ordinance that doesn't allow us to let them do that. Can you approve it and add that section, those streets, to our current ordinance since we did the streets? And then there was discussion about should we add streets every time they add streets, or should we just make it generic and get, currently our ordinance is that a resident has to get a permit from us to put up a mailbox. This takes away that. They still have to get a permit to put up mailboxes from the postal service. So this just simplifies it, still mentions who's in charge of mailboxes within the city. Maybe that's a positive or having in there.
so if we want to delete the mailbox ordinance, we have to withdraw the resolution? Do we have to?
Just vote on it and then if everybody votes no, then you start.
Okay.
Motion would be my situation.
Okay.
If I was gonna keep anything in this ordinance, it'd be paragraph number 4. And I would just start, if the city of Paullina determines that a mailbox is not in compliance, the city shall send the United States Post Office a written notice by certified mail. Well,
And we could still do that, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that as our new ordinance. I don't know, but I think if we're get just about to that point, then maybe just let them handle it. I don't know.
I would say that if we're going to act as a council to delete an ordinance, I just think that that's a good thing for our city attorney to review. We do not have our city review deleting this ordinance, and we don't want to cause any other issues that we haven't thought about. The city attorney has gone through and drafted this ordinance, so it's okay with us acting on this, or approving it or denying it. But if we would deny approval of this ordinance, then I think we should go back to the city attorney and have her draft up a deletion of an ordinance section, if we want to go that route.
I'll make a motion to lay this on the table until we have further legal review and come back to it. Meeting or 2 meetings, I don't know how quick she can.
For a deletion of this,
No,
or?
just lay it on the table until we get further information from our legal counsel.
So,
So I'm trying to get a end date so our legal counsel gets it done by then, so.
I think the only thing that our council would need though is if we were going to completely take it out.
Completely
Cause
deleted.
this is her legal counsel for the
Right, she's already
amendment.
went through what all you've written out.
So, point of order just a minute, so we have, Eddie made a motion, you made a motion.
So there's a motion on the table.
Yeah, but yours is a second motion on the table, right? And we don't have a second, I guess we can't, we need a second to Danny's motion to discuss it further.
After dinner.
Actually, to discuss your motion to table, because is that a discussable?
No, you just vote on it. It's immediate.
It's, yeah.
If it fails, then you go back to what you want us to do.
So currently Danny made a motion on, if anybody chooses to second that,
What about the resolution?
then his would table it.
Okay.
If nobody seconds Danny's motion to table it, then that motion to approve can still be voted on. Second. Hearing none, then say the motion to table fails. So we're back to the motion and a second on the vote to approve or not this particular ordinance. Any discussion? I assume we're ready to vote. This will be roll call vote. Roll call votes.
Carol Longcom,
I'm gonna say A, yes.
Nicole Jacobs,
I'm still like,
Confused.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right now you are voting on the motion and second to approve this ordinance as you have it worded in front of
okay,
you. So that's either a yea or a nay to vote for this ordinance.
okay, so omitting this is not on the table anymore,
Correct that,
No,
Dale?
it's just a table.
okay.
That was never a motion on the table.
Mhm.
Right, but it's just a table.
So right now, what order you have to use a.
So we're amending the ordinance right now, correct?
Right now,
Right,
we're
just
voting
like
on
it is
amending
on
the
the
ordinance
sheet.
to this ordinance as worded.
Okay, yay.
Steve Barrett,
Yay?
Gene Emerald,
Okay.
Danny Workmeister,
Nay.
Four yeas.
4 yeas, Denny, nay. Okay. So that motion to amend the ordinance passes. So tonight would be considered the first reading. You can either take action to waive the second and the third tonight, or this is the first reading and we'll put it on the agenda for next month's meeting as the second reading. And if you do nothing, this is just the first reading, and we'll have the second and third readings.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so the first reading will be recorded as such, and the second reading will be put on the next agenda. All right, thank you. Item number 8, status update and continued discussion on utility rates. At our planning workshop, we set June 19th as the date to put onto our agenda to have those rates discussed. We put this on here just because we wanted to make sure that we keep it in front of us and find out if there's any additional information that you need from Michelle, as the committees are working on this along with Michelle. So it's really in the hands of Michelle and various committees to be prepared to present recommendations on utility rates at the next meeting. So if there's anything else that you need.
did everybody get the email with the recommendation for Maria's?
In fact, I got this in front of us. It's gonna be very difficult. We got WAPA at 14%, right? we'll keep working on it,
Sure.
see what kind of, what kind of number we come up with. So Michelle, I would like to see if we could do, something along the line of, average cost per resident, with the utility rates and so on, can we do something like that? Okay. Cause that'd probably give us the best picture of what might be looking at, so. Okay.
We're kind of in an unfortunate situation that they haven't been dealt with for so long. I think we have to figure out where they should be at. Yeah. And then figure out how we phase into that without losing money along the way.
Right. And also not completely upset all the customers,
Exactly.
which,
But being able to cover our costs and,
Right.
you know, and fund in things that have to be done as a city, otherwise that will just be into the tax department.
Unfortunately, like Wappa and the Missouri River, that's just payment to them, we have, I mean, flat costs there, so
Yep,
we can't really do anything with that, so. We'll keep after it.
As you're working on that, do you see any need to do a workshop between now and the next meeting to have the council further discuss the information?
I think so. I think it's a lot of,
yeah, because we got a lot to go over. I mean, and I think if Danny and Michelle can work us a sheet up maybe, and then we can make a workshop up after we see what they come up with. So that we got some good facts in front of us to look at.
That's fine.
And my other thought was even with Davidson, or you guys, I think I was gone when he was here, but, maybe this Tim guy from MRAS would have a thought of somebody up that way. That's involved there. I mean, we don't have to go at the moment. If they have good luck with somebody else too.
You're talking for bonds and then do it.
I don't know if that's a good thought or not, but maybe he's kind of a little bit less thinking what we need. I don't know.
I don't think Davidson really didn't tell us what we needed, we told them what we were looking at.
Okay, but did he come up with a kind of a percentage number?
Based on what we were telling them we needed.
Yep.
And he quantified for us what $1.5 million bond would
Right.
cost us.
Right. So,
Yeah, rates are separate from what the bonding is covered, projects and so on, so.
I know the bond itself, but whatever you build in your rates for future upgrades, et cetera, you don't have to bond for. So you either cover with your rates or
Right.
bond or some combination of the two.
right.
Fortunately, we're not gonna be able to raise our rates, we won't feel the impact of probably 3 to 5 years down the road. Probably minimum. So we wanna set a date for this working session, or?
Sure.
When can you guys have a slot time?
We're using some information pulled and data together
Right.
for us to discuss.
Yeah, and I don't, first go around, I don't think it has to be really intense stuff, just looking for kind of some average.
Because when does your
Well, next week,
auditor?
yeah, next week would be better, because we're still getting everything together. It has to be, we have to have it to them by Friday, and Alex is off Thursday and Friday. So next week would be better,
Okay.
for you and I to.
Yeah, that's fine. We can still crunch some of the other numbers, I guess. I can look at my own utility bill and have at least a rough idea.
So do we want to do next Monday night, Wednesday night, next week?
Because you're gonna try to get together next week, so
Oh,
we'll say
that
the
week.
day. Yeah.
That's right, so you can be ready for Monday night.
No.
No.
Maybe Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Right, no, which would be Wednesday because
The
we're meeting
best.
the following Monday. Probably late.
So the 12th?
Our workshop.
Workshop.
Wednesday, June 12th.
Bring your calculators.
I 5:30?
5:30, does that work for you and Jean and on Wednesday?
Probably.
5:30 at City Hall. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Item number 9 is discussion about sanitary sewer line for Springway Stay along Wood Street. Kelly brought this up, it was brought up recently at our planning session as an item that needs to be done. Kelly, you talk about that?
We have our, pretty much from Commerce North, all goes to the lift station, then we have some other stuff that goes down Broadway. We have an 8-inch force main, and then we have another 8-inch pipe that are all going into an 8-inch that goes down to where it goes to the lagoon. On the corner of Wood and Broadway, it's filling up quite frequently when we get a bunch of rain, because it can't keep up. So at some point, I guess we need to look into maybe just putting a separate line from Broadway to Day. Just have the force main forced all the way out to Day, and then have the free flowing stuff just on the pipe that's in there now. But that would be, I talked to, where we get our pipe and stuff from, it'd be $36,000 to get it just for the pipe. And I talked to DJ, and he said, as long as we scheduled something, it would be, he could do it for us, so. But just something to look for, I mean, it's nothing that needs to be done tomorrow, but we've been dealing with it for quite a while, but
And then you're gonna put the bigger pipe in.
we'd separate the two. I mean, there'd be a pipe, the pipe that's there now would just be for the gravity, and then we would have a separate pipe that's just force main.
So the force one would be from Broadway today, and the other one would be both.
They would both go from Broadway to Day, but there's just one pipe there now
Right,
doing the,
right.
and it can't keep up.
So that would be the force main though. That'd be this.
We would take the force main off where it goes into that manhole and just run it directly down to Day Street, where they all dump in and go to the lagoon.
Oh, that's where they go, that Date Street.
Yep.
Okay,
Or by Richie Flex.
yeah. So how do we get from Broadway to Day? Is that through the street, or is it directional drilled? or-
We directional drill it
Okay. Along Maple Street, or?
along Wood Street.
Right here.
The last one. Yeah. You said TCA can do that, or,
Yeah.
or you?
What size of line would that be?
8.
8, but you would have
So that'd be from Wood to Maple, then? Where you'd be directional drilling?
wood today.
Wood today.
Would it
Day.
basically
No.
from Mason Waterman's to Ritchie's.
Yeah, from Broadway.
Broadway
From
today.
Broadway to
Yeah,
Day.
that's right.
On Wood.
That's right, Broadway today on
On
Wood.
Wood Street.
So you're not looking, it's all north-south is what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And that was what, 37,000?
36,000. And then when we schedule TCA, there's no charge to that because
Well,
they're getting
The
some.
money that TCA gives us monthly or whatever, they just pay for the cost to cover their guys for the hours they're there.
Wages.
So where that would impact us potentially is budgeted revenue from TCA.
Right.
So 36,000, I'm sorry, not 36. How much would they charge for that, for the labor side?
I can talk to DJ, but
Let's
I
find
mean,
that out.
it's usually, I mean, they're cheap considering, or alternative.
Sure.
So,
Right, we'll find out how busy they are, how when they can get to it.
yeah, it would have to be something we'd schedule, but, we couldn't just say, hey, come here today. type of thing,
Right.
you know?
Really?
So,
And they can drill 8-inch easy enough with the machines they have?
you know,
What is directional drill? Okay, okay.
they got pipes, and there's a paddle on the front of the pipe, and you can turn that paddle whichever way you want it to go, and if you
Oh.
just go straight, then you spin it. But it just makes a hole in the ground, then you can pull pipe back.
I think if that
Through
machine
that.
does all of that.
You
You don't need a ditch, an open ditch, when you do directional.
don't need trench or nothing like that.
Oh,
And so what it would do is the lift station is pumping it up through a force main into a gravity flow on Wood Street. And this would eliminate that going into the gravity flow. It would be all on its own force main. And it would go right from the lift station right to the line that goes off the lagoon. So it would be off of anybody, wouldn't be on anybody's sewer.
So as far as total capacity throughput through there, it'd be like almost 4 times what we currently have right now, because we've reduced down to that 4, and we'd still have the 4 plus the 8. Right?
You have 2 running.
We had 2 pipes running. instead
2
of
pipes
one.
running, right.
Yep.
Yep. So a lot more
They
capacity.
said the other one was an 8-inch, everything was 8-inch.
The force is an 8, yeah, they're both 8.
But you said it reduces to 4 before it gets there, right? Or not?
There's 2 8s going into an 8 right now.
At Davy, right, at Davy Street.
At Broadway. There's 2 8-inch, there's a forced 8-inch and there's a regular 8-inch. And both of those have the sewage coming through them, and both of those 2 8-inch go into 1 8-inch
At Broadway,
at Broadway.
and then it heads on down to.
And then it heads down to Day.
Is it 8-inch all the way today? Okay. Because I thought I heard that something went from 8 to a 4.
Yeah, because you said that too, Rick. So where's that 4-inch coming from then?
Hmm?
Where's that 4-inch?
There's just 2 8s.
Oh.
Oh,
So no 4.
No,
Okay.
So what does that affect then, Kelly? Does it, people get back up in their sewers or
right.
down by Broadway more, or
Down by Broadway, yep.
that corner there?
Yep.
So this would eliminate all that, so what pumping that you'd have to do down there from that lift station.
right, so then that makes
And
it,
that would,
is on, where is he? He's on.
He's on Broadway.
He's on the Broadway
Wood.
one.
and it'd relieve some too on the whole system as a whole, it would help out considerably. The, pumps wouldn't have to, go as hard from the lift station to get everything pumped out, cause it's trying to pump that plus the,
Now, is this the same thing that you're gonna recommend sometime with the east lift station along Willow from school to Bertha? Was that the other lift station issue?
yeah, that's got a smaller pipe too there, and it's got smaller, the lift station pumps over there are smaller than the 2 we have, the one at the west business park and the one on the east. The one over there is aged, the west lift station.
Well, that'll probably be the next one that you'll be thinking about.
Look into the grant that Clinton was talking about.
There's a grant there too.
Right.
I know.
Okay, so you'll pull that information together for us.
TCA, can they do it? Chris, how long is your, gonna take to get the pipe?
I can honestly probably have a pipe tomorrow.
Oh, really?
It's just sitting in Sioux City, so.
Oh, okay.
So what other things do we need besides the pipe?
Pipe-
Basically be it.
pipe-
We'd go back past the, manhole that's there now, run that force main around the manhole and then we just have to dump it into the manhole over by Richie Frex.
So when you say 36,000 for the pipe, that'd be for the material, pipe fittings, whatever you use. Okay. So will you put that on next, will you that pull together for us cost-wise for the next?
Yep, I'll get better information for the next meeting.
All right.
And we have to find funding for it, so
Alright.
I could see Michelle sitting there.
Yeah, eyes are rolling.
That's why I'm saying on the labor side, find replacement funding for revenue.
Yeah, maybe we should be looking, see how she could come up for dollars, but maybe otherwise that, I don't know
I
how
think when they
fast.
put that east lift station in, I think if they would've had the money, they would've went all the way like I'm talking about, but I don't think their money will come with a problem.
So we better find out on our dollars, but I don't know, find out how fast those little replay grants are slow coming, so.
And it probably wasn't a problem until now because of all the rain that we've gotten.
Yeah, it's not, it's fine
Everything's been
unless
tested.
we get a whole bunch of rain. So
But
it's not something,
yeah,
I don't feel like it's anything we have to necessarily
immediate.
do this budget year or anything, but it's
Okay.
something I want you, you know,
to think about.
Well, then I
So I
think
want
we
it out
have,
there for-
maybe we should find out about some of those grants and see where we're at. If you feel you can wait, like you said, if it doesn't continue
I
raining
mean,
as hard.
the only time we have problems is when it rains hard, so.
Well, there's just,
So those pipes carry sewer water or sanitary?
Sanitary,
They're
so,
all sanitary.
Sanitary, so that's stormwater.
no,
So the extra volume through there when we have wet season is because some pumps are being drained out, which they're not supposed to be.
right?
And a little,
Well, some stuff gets in manholes and stuff like that too.
yeah, but the bulk of it would be. I heard today Sheldon's appeal to the residents again that their sanitary sewer throughput is currently with this wet weather 5 times the normal sanitary sewer volume.
So how's the lagoon heights looking out there?
We just emptied them, I think a month ago, so we're overbuilt, so I mean, we're good for a while.
All right, thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
Item number 10, ambulance director update on ambulance rates and coverage.
Well, this is mostly,
Glenda and Mary. Glenda. Lori's on for an agenda item, please.
January 23, the council signed a resolution for us that would enable us to bill our neighbors if we have excessive number of calls that we have to take in their community. My team feels we have hit that point with Sutherland. So we would like to start sending the city of Sutherland a bill for $350 whenever we are called for a call in Sutherland when their squad does not respond. So, they page Sutherland out, they don't respond, then they page us as their backup. That happened 3 times over Memorial Weekend. And I believe 2 of those times Sutherland was on scene when we got there. So, we were not disregarded. So yeah. My team wasn't happy. And we get called for Crim Guard occasionally, you know, because these squads are struggling staffing wise where we were at 4 years ago. Or very close to where we were at 4 years ago. So I understand their dilemmas, but we need to start.
They could still do you the courtesy of telling them that they're responding.
Exactly.
Yeah, they can let the comm center know, and they can let you know.
Exactly, they could disregard us or
They could also put themselves out of, you know.
be out of service when they know they don't have people.
about people to work on.
Someone needs to tell they need to tell the comm center. They need to communicate with the comm center, and then the comm center communicates with us. So we just wanna start using that resolution that is already in place. We want to let you guys
We
know
did
that.
that about a year ago, right?
January 23, she mentioned,
Yeah.
January 2023.
Yeah.
So you already have the authorization from
We
the city
do.
council to
You
do
got it,
that.
we
You just haven't done it.
We just haven't done it.
Notification that we're going to, that you're.
Because like I said, we've been there with not enough people, but we were very, I don't know what the right word is.
If you-
Diligent, we were diligent about putting ourselves out of service when we did not have crew.
Right.
are able to call our fire department if we don't have a driver, but we have an EMT. So we don't miss calls.
So the agreement or what the council approved is that your ability to bill a neighboring town.
Yeah.
So if you bill Sutherland, they have to pay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we this doesn't affect at all how the call itself is billed. This is billing them for the service of using our ambulance to do these calls.
So you're thinking about doing the ones you did, are you gonna do those?
The month of May, yeah.
Okay, good.
So,
That's what it was set up for.
yep. There's one call from May that doesn't count because we were mutual aid for a fire and then they paid us to come for rehab. So that one doesn't count because that falls under our mutual aid agreement. But these where they're in service and not on another call do not fall under our mutual aid agreement. So yeah. And we're also revisiting our mutual aid agreements. So that's one of the things we'll talk about on Wednesday. With Jared. So he's
How are your
gonna
EMTs coming on, the ones that went for actual EMT, are they getting close to the end, or?
I think they're done with class, the two are done with class and are just getting their tests done.
Okay.
And we have one that just started class. So,
That will be nice too, because otherwise you use the Granville one a lot, didn't you?
oh, no, this isn't paramedic.
Oh, she's, I forgot
we
that,
are-
okay, sorry.
We are not an ALS one.
Okay,
That involves more money, more training,
okay, nope, I was thinking she was that.
more security.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That
yeah.
sounds good. Thanks
So
for
that's kind of
everything
where we're
you're doing.
at.
Nope. Yep, I definitely think you should do that.
We'll get with Michelle and let her know what to send them on the bill, and it's basically kind of like the $200 bill for whatever it is from Granville for paramedic assist. It's the same principle. We're billing for the service, not the actual call.
Sure. Okay,
So, yeah.
sounds good.
And we thought about maybe sending those directly to the nursing home, because that's where most of the calls we get. So, yeah,
Okay,
but otherwise, I think we're doing pretty good.
sounds good.
Amber fully takes over the first of the year.
First of the fiscal year or the first of January? January,
Now,
right?
that,
I shouldn't have told you that.
you shouldn't have told me that. She won't buy that, though.
I didn't.
I don't think I can sell her on
So
that.
that must be the first.
You can throw it out there, but I
Calendar
doubt
year.
it.
I will. First of the next year,
Yeah,
calendar
second
year.
of 25.
Yep,
Yep.
Got it. Okay,
so.
well, thanks again for all of you doing.
You bet.
All right.
Thanks, Lori.
Thanks, Lori.
You have to come up with a name like Sheldon's, they're scats.
Yeah, well, we're
Pat, we're
past.
All right,
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, item 11B is approved Dollar General Store retail permit application for cigarette tobacco.
We didn't win.
Before 11?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I caught that one too many. Item 11, TCA board member discussion. Do you wanna just give an update on how this came about and what we, or does Carol? Who's up to date on it? Or Kelly, you're our city.
Larry his term is up at
The end of this-
TCA.
Yep, the end of this month.
He said he doesn't wanna do it anymore.
Well, he's kind of wishy-washy
No.
though.
That's changed.
I've heard that today, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, no, he told me that when I talked to him. But, I think he's been on since February of 19 because he took over Mike Otto's place when Mike decided to retire from it. So, he is done as of June 30th unless he decides to stay on, or if he couldn't find anybody, I think he was saying he would continue until that time. a 6-year term.
I received a request. This was from John Ely. He said, I noticed you are looking for a person to fill a spot on the TCA board. This is to let you know that I am still interested in filling that position.
Okay, so that's the same. Yes.
Can I speak to this since I brought that up?
I'll let you answer it.
You gonna let me do it? Okay. I had talked to several of the board members on TCA, and they are the ones that talked to me and said they wish John Neely had got on because he is so knowledgeable about the workings of the way TCA works and the program problem. And so that's one of the reasons I suggested John, because he has the knowledge and would benefit Paullina, because, you know, we in Paullina, that's our source. Otherwise, we have to go to Dish or whatever to get our TV, and now they're coming up, Windstorm or something like that is trying to come in with the internet, and since TCA has it all, and he knows how to repair it. So, I
He's on
mean,
the
it's,
programming board.
He's on the
Right.
programming, yeah.
yeah,
So this is not a programming board
No, this is
position,
not
this
the
is a
programming
board
board.
position, right?
no,
This is
Just
just
like the
regular.
financial part of it, like.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
but
this
Larry
meeting is.
Swayback is the one that said he truly wished that John had got on
On the,
So,
on
the board,
on the
when
board.
he asked to be on it, and people,
What John asked to be on was the programming board, not
Right.
the board that
Right.
Larry's on, okay?
but,
else we on the
you know,
board?
they all know.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
that after he was not voted in, so.
But, yeah,
Okay.
and,
So that's, officially, I'm bringing that to the council.
Sure.
okay.
Thanks, Steve.
So, we only have discussion on here today because, this came up, it was on here, but we didn't have the information about what board position it was, et cetera, so therefore there's put on discussion. We'll have this item to appoint a board member on our next meeting. So we wanna just be prepared to discuss and debate who we as a council wanna appoint to that 6-year board position.
And if there's any recommendations that come in,
Absolutely.
we can present those.
Correct.
When I actually talked to Gary, because I wanted to know when Larry had started, I couldn't remember. Gary Lansing from TCA, he said that Larry is a very good board member, and that so is Nelda. She's on the at-large one, or the regular board, so he was pleased with both of them.
So everybody probably knows this better than me, but so each participant city has a board member, and then there's the at-large member that rotates. Is that a 3-year term?
Yes.
3-year term each city?
No, 2 years.
A 2-year term, okay.
2 years.
So basically during that 6-year term, we have an at-large member for 2 years, and then it rotates to the other
Right.
cities. And that's the board, and then there's the programming board,
Right.
that each one of the cities must just have one board member
I think so.
on that
What
board.
is the term for the program?
2 years. I think it's 2 years. And I think Nelda was 2 years. No, I guess I didn't.
Yeah. That one's down the road, she
Yeah,
was just
But
in
yeah,
that position recently. Okay. So Larry's, Paulina's current term that Larry's filling ends the end of June, so we want to be ready to select a new person at the next meeting.
they meet once a month.
Got it?
Once a month at 7 AM, and Nelda and Larry both ride with me there, so.
Okay, and that's nice too, that works.
That's right. Because in addition to our board members, each city has their designee. What's your official position that you fill? Paulina's designee.
Driver.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
Right.
and I don't know, when is the programming board, when do they meet, do you know?
They just meet,
It's
they
not
just meet when
monthly,
they
is
have
it?
to.
Whenever.
Yeah, it's kind of when they're looking at a lot of programs or changes, I think.
usually when the new prices come up or contracts come up and decide what channels to keep and what channels are asking too much money and.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of the price increases that PCA deals with is not coming from them, it's coming from the local channels charging outrageous amount for local channels and.
I just found programming is a 2-year term and the at-large is a 3-year. So,
Okay. Thank you. We'll move on now to 11B. So I would first entertain a motion to approve the Dollar General permit application. So choose to do so.
Make a motion to approve it.
Thank you, Jean. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, discussion?
The reason I asked this to be separated is, I wanna remind our residents that every dollar spent at Dollar General is not going to the coffers of our homegrown, local stores. So, keep that in mind.
What about Casey's?
What about them? If you wanna throw cases in there, that's fine too. I'm just more of a homegrown guy, so I like to see our homegrown businesses flourish. So we've already had some closures and we need to do something about it. That's all I have.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I assume we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
and those opposed say nay.
Nay.
All right. That motion is approved with 4 ayes and 1 nay. On to item number 12, reports. Kelly?
Sure. We did get another, estimate from Chad Dow, the property vendor, didn't get it till this morning. I can give that to you all, I mean, it's something we need to get going on, whether we decide to do. We were gonna talk to Brian.
What is his,
75
quote, what does that all consist of?
7,500. It's cleaning it, leveling it, raking it,
replanting or something?
I don't think replanting is on it.
Okay.
Okay. So by cleaning it, hauling to the tree site?
And so what's the amount?
7,500.
So we need to get that cleaned up.
Yes, by the Jamboree.
Yeah.
That would be
We
nice.
don't want police. So if we don't use somebody like Chad, what are our other options to get it done?
I mean, we can just start a fire out there.
As long as you keep it on the south end.
Us hauling it, I mean, we hauled for a day last week and we barely put it in tonight, I guess, so.
Yeah, the other guy is done, right?
Well, if we get an outside contractor, they would keep after it, that's nice, and the city boys, they got
Right.
numerous other things to do.
Did
Well-
you,
What would it cost to have the chipper come back? What would that cost?
I can find out.
I mean, if he can finish it up for 7,500, it's the same thing, and then we're not burning it. The problem I have with burning out there is that, we're gonna have some complaints from residents. If the smoke comes into town from there. And, yeah, we can typically light it on a good weather day, but a lot of that burns for a long time. And then if the wind switches in different direction, the smoke's coming into town and the smell and so on. So that's just a concern of mine. The other thing is, if you look at the state code, and I don't have it with me, there are some regulations on us burning. That it has, if we light a fire, it has to be, monitored, 24-hour monitored, has to be in a fenced-in area, has to be secured, and there's a lot of other, and unfortunately, I didn't bring it with me tonight, but there are some, there is a state code on it. So,
And having the chipper come back wouldn't be the same as what Chad's doing, because they won't finish that road.
They're not
No, that's
cleaning
gonna
up,
clear
they're
it up.
not doing all of
That's-
that.
I mean, that's why I asked that, if they would come and be able to finish it for the 7,500.
Then we still have to hire somebody to clean it off and level it and rake it.
Yeah, still.
Well, and Chad's quote has it, it's all being
It's on
burned.
there.
Yeah,
Does Chad have a place
I think we talked about it
no,
last
he
time.
doesn't.
to move?
I
To
asked
take
him
it to
today
his-
and he does not.
He does not, okay.
Yeah, I kind of, just, would
I
be
mean, I
nice
just
to get it all done.
Yeah, I just wanted to forewarn you about that.
Right.
The burn, about burning and what.
So how does that work then with, when you guys burn out there, just
Just to clean it up.
burning it? Because you guys don't man it 24, I don't think any cities man it 24 hours.
I mean, we watch it while it's engulfed,
Sure.
I guess. Once it calms down, we don't watch it.
And we still get smoke.
What
And
did
yeah, I mean,
someone-
we can start it on a perfect day where all the smoke's going to the south and
Today?
then, 6 hours later, it's all coming straight to town
What
or.
did Sutherland do with their?
They burned them.
They burned it.
It was
At
down
the
2
dump.
days.
But their dump is a mile and a half out of town.
It's no further than
No,
ours
it's
is.
right on the edge
It's
of
just the
town.
other side of the blacktop.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just kept a hot fire for the week that Schwebeck was taking down trees and just had him keep dumping them out there on the hot fire, and they just kept it hot, which means a lot less smoke and smoldering.
Sure.
So we've only got like 2 or 3 weeks to get that cleaned up realistically before Jamboree.
Yeah, I just
What do we
gotta
do?
go
I think
with
the
it.
sooner the better too, because the closer that we get to Jamboree, you're gonna have that smoldering smell that lasts.
All these people in, yep, it'd be worse.
What do you recommend? What do we do? What do we do to get it cleaned up in 2 or 3 weeks?
Just, I mean, the council has the information, I guess. I mean, we can either,
If it were your choice, and we need it out of here within 2 to 3 weeks.
the fastest route, I assume is gonna be Chad.
Is chipping a solution, a possibility or not?
I can give him a call. I did have somebody else last week ask me about chipping too, so there must be that bird flu going around and need a bunch of wood
Yeah.
chips for, so.
Cherokee
Yeah.
got it.
Could we,
Maybe we can find somebody who needs chips bad enough that they'll chip our product because they need chips and
And then
can
we
sell
want
them
it.
for a premium.
could we haul it out to the dump and have them ship it out there?
Now they're finished
Is
cleaning
there
it
any
up.
room out there?
Probably,
But you couldn't all.
be that much extra cost
Sure.
trucking it.
I mean, the trucking's a big portion of it.
You said you did one day last week?
Hmm?
You did one day last week, or the guys did?
With the
We
orange
don't,
truck and.
we don't have that kind of equipment that we can be productive.
No. I wondered about that.
I mean, in hindsight, the only productive way to do it out there would have been to have Schwebeck deliver it out there and keep up with it.
Right.
But that's water.
Fast.
So you guys would still be burning it, he won't be burning it out there, so he would just be transporting it out there, you guys would burn. How much would it take off then if someone were to come and chip
Are you
it?
talking about Chad?
Yeah,
No, Chad was gonna burn it. Chad said he could have it all done in 2 days.
so he would be out there
He would
burning
be out
it.
there having someone
Oh,
with a loader pushing
Yeah.
and burning and pushing and burning.
now I feel this is the one we gotta do. I didn't know he was gonna, I thought he was just hauling it out there and cleaning it up, but if he's gonna burn too, I
Yeah,
think that's what we gotta do.
If you can keep it hot.
Is that physically possible to burn that much wood with a hot fire in 2 days? I guess that's what some of them do, how they.
And I have had Trent out there cleaning out there's a pile of ash and whatnot out there. It'll go a lot better if that's not sitting where we burn, so that's getting taken care of too.
Right. You've been doing on that, you said you've been working on that? Yep. I think we gotta go with Chad.
And I understand that, it's an inconvenience of having it coming in, but do you want it gone? Do you want it cleaned up? Can you deal with a couple of days of
Bad?
smoke?
Well, if they burn it in 2 days, we're not.
It seeped into the house. The one time that they did that and they ended up burning, it seeped into the house. It was a south wind. I had to take all of my curtains and everything down and wash them, and we even had to do some of the walls because of the smoke. If it's a hot fire and you can keep the smoke going up, I think when you said about Swayback doing that, it was in late fall.
Right.
And it makes a big difference because the wind comes out of the northwest and that smoke area and that stuff all goes down to the south and doesn't come up where we're at. But you have to, I talked to, well, you live in the neighborhood as well. And it's like when they're burning down there, it's like a, what do I wanna say, not a hurricane, but it's like a tunnel type thing where the smoke, and all it takes is just the slightest wind to shift and it brings it all up. And it happened, I've only had that happen once, that bad. But, we do get the smoke smell. I feel bad that we have to do that, but I understand you wanna get that cleaned up. I wanna get it cleaned up. I'm still getting critters in the middle of the night. So I understand, the problem, but I just wished I had a solution.
Let's utilize the retention pond and take it out there.
That's a good idea.
Only kidding.
I think it's perfect.
I do too.
How full is it? To the top?
What?
The retention
Retention
pond?
pond.
Then you just,
Depends how much rain we get.
I know. I guess when I've been by, I haven't looked at it, so.
Alright, what are we gonna do? That's in the budget.
You can't,
We need to get it done.
I think it's gotta
can
go.
we make a decision tonight?
We technically can't act on a decision, but if there's a section of the budget that we can,
If there's still money available on the streets,
There is one.
I just think we get it done.
Do it and let him know, or we're not gonna get him to get it done tonight. I don't know how busy he is. He didn't give you any thoughts, if he's open, Chad?
When he can do it?
no,
so is it gonna be this coming weekend?
no, I don't.
It sounds
I
like,
could ask
sounds like,
tomorrow.
sounds like we just need to do it.
So he's just short of seeding, then he's not gonna seed it for us, or?
I'm not surprised if he's-
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We wanna find a drill, right, to drill that seed, probably,
I know,
or doing it.
Say, Mark, can we have you?
doesn't Jared Harms do?
Yeah,
Jared Harms has something.
Jared and Justin,
Mhm.
and Ryan Tees. Like a tractor.
I would think a drill would almost be necessary as cleanse it, because he's not gonna be able to work that ground.
say clean, the project wasn't to add fill.
No, well, when I heard leveling, that's what I expected, so maybe I just misunderstood.
Basically,
Level the
basically,
ground.
basically that's working the ground to get the ruts and things.
That's the scours, tractor rig goes.
You gotta have so much dirt, why don't you just dig big holes and bury it? Level it out.
Then whatever got built in there would forever settle and.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
make it that they can't dig a basement, they just have pour cement.
Go back to our condos or duplexes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we do
Well, they don't have any water in the basement then, right?
Okay, so
kidding.
what's the council's recommendation, since we got Atkins on, to Kelly to get this letter in 2 to 3 weeks?
I think he needs to make the call and find out when he can do it. Or email, and you can email or,
Yeah, you can
email
email
all
or
this.
text or.
Yeah,
I think you should look into the chipping deal too, especially if you got another outfit that's contacted you, because that'd be a lot cleaner.
So let's start there. If we could get chipped within that time frame, that'd be great. I mean, reuse the product rather than burning product is a good environment.
right, then you don't have to worry about that, but.
But that'll have to be checked in quickly, so that we make it work.
Yeah.
I'll call both those guys tomorrow, and
And did you check with Ryan?
I'll talk to him around too.
Kelly mentioned Brian Feldman would do this, pretty much the same thing, but he probably doesn't have the staff. He probably wouldn't be burning it for us.
I can talk to, yeah.
All right.
I'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else from you two?
We were having storm sewer problems on Rutledge and Logan. Had rehab come. They, we tried to clean it out the best we could, and we couldn't, it was 12-inch pipe just full of ruts, so there's no way we could get it. And rehab came, and they were here for a little bit this morning. I believe they're coming back tomorrow. They had an emergency in Ochean they had to go to, but from what they did today, I mean, it looks nice, so.
And they're doing both places.
Huh?
They're doing Rutledge and,
It's on the corner of Rutledge and Logan.
oh, okay.
Be like the greenhouse and then Michelle's, and then it goes in front of the
Roads,
roads,
the old
Oh,
house.
okay.
Karen Road.
Oh, Karen's old home, that old house, okay.
So it goes there, then it comes up and goes down the street curb, right?
Okay.
For the project was.
Right?
Okay.
And then the school electric on the south side, we're getting really close to having that to where we can start pulling poles and we're done on that street. I know the tree stumps everybody's asking about, our pile of dirt we have is mud right now, so once that dries up, we're gonna
Start doing it again.
start doing that again. And I have had Trent cleaning up the tree pile just to make it, so when we do bring stuff out there, it's not a pile of dirt we're pushing branches up on, so. What we got,
How often do you burn out there?
as needed, I guess.
So what do you, like right now, what do you, once a week?
We haven't burned out there for, well, it's probably been 2-3 weeks, two weeks, something like that. A lot of times we don't even need to burn, you can just push into that pile of ash and there'll still be tools in there that'll start stuff up, so.
Okay, anything else? Michelle? My big focus is getting this town ready for Jamboree, as well as other stuff that has to happen. And we talked, we need to get the street sweeper out, so focus on downtown and Main Street and whatever else we can do. On Green for the underground feeder project south of the school, as much as we get that finished, leveled out. Tree stump holes I mentioned. It's a good opportunity for us to get the town looking good. So.
The did have Josh go out and do the sewer intakes today, and he got quite a full bucket of, and I mean, it was mostly grass that he pulled off of what plugs up the, when it rains, everything goes to the intakes, and there was, we had his wheel loader bucket full today. We did like half the town, so.
It really seems like there's a lot of people right now mowing their grass in the street.
Into the street.
Maybe you need to put a little article on, again, just a reminder. I mean, I know you've got it out there and had it out there, but sometimes when
Anybody
you put
who's
up about the
watching,
jamboree.
anybody who's watching, please don't discharge your grass in the street.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They just some little bleep maybe.
Or if it is, like, use your leaf blower and
Or-
blow it back up,
or-
and
Yes, take it out, yes. So maybe that would be a helpful thought, maybe, I don't know. Any more from you?
Our penalties for, throwing your grass in the street, isn't there? Mowing your grass.
There are, there is, yep. I've been going around and cleaning some people's and then dropping a note off, a copy of the ordinance that the green, was posted on Facebook and the post office.
Gonna drop a note at my house on letting that grass grow. Where that tree was.
Okay, that part, that, where
Yeah.
the tree was,
Yeah.
I get it.
I wanted to reseed.
Got it. All right, city council comments. What do you guys have?
I'm gonna mention that I went through the alley by Thrifty White and that needs to be trimmed up, the weeds there. So if you want somebody to look at that, it was kinda like, even by Thrifty White and other places look like kinda crappy weeds, basically.
Is that the city responsibility or is that the business responsibility?
Well, I think it's business, isn't it? But not everybody, I don't know.
I've gotta clean up mine.
Well, we'd have to do the bank one,
And
regardless.
they did.
You did it just lately? Okay. I think I went through it last week, so I did notice that, but it's been a week, but maybe we'll just need to contact like Thrifty and,
Cause I even noticed this alley, they're gonna block her houses.
yeah, yeah, it needs to be.
Sure.
So,
Keep notifying them and.
and had a couple more nuisances about dogs going on other people's yards, that when they don't clean it up, so. Had another one today that we talked to, but the person that had the dog wasn't home or didn't answer the door. Don't know which. And there was stuff at the ball field, but Nikki's talked to those people and hopefully they will not do that again. Because we don't care if they run in the ball field, we just don't want them
Be good
leaving
neighbors,
their extras.
be good neighbors, clean up.
Yep. So Jean, you wanna talk about our employee, or the, you've seen on Friday?
Oh, yeah, we had a candidate for the city top job tested, physical tested on Friday, did well. So he's progressing.
And he's ready for the site, you said, right?
Yep, he's ready for the psych test. He's done the fingerprinting and the vet test and physical test.
I guess with that, we did get an inquiry from Sutherland, because the Adam McQueen resigned, criminal police officer. So they inquired if we would consider adding an additional officer and that they would do an agreement with us that they would pay for a portion of our overall cost. So one of the things we can keep in mind as we go down the road.
So that'd be a total of 3 then?
Now, it would be something that we would need to decide and get Nate's input in as well as, what would we have to cover, cover them to what their level of needs they think they are and what we think that means as well. But I think the concept is probably that it would be 3 or 2.5, I don't know. Nowadays, I don't know if you can hire a half-time officer. Some sheriff's departments hire half-time deputies or part-time deputies, but O'Brien County doesn't have that. That's something to think about. In the meantime, they have posted for an officer themselves. And if we were willing to go down that route with them, So just very preliminary conversations, inquiries. Patrick Nelson on their council is kind of the designee to reach out and give us some more information and their thoughts and ideas on what they would like us to consider. And I haven't heard from him yet, he did get my number today, so I'll pass them on safety committee and decide if we want to go there.
Oh, and I know we gotta start doing evaluations. Michelle will do Alex and Tony will do his, and then we, Jean and I, and you two, and start looking at what we wanna do for raises for the 1st of July. So we might get that done in June. Start up some times.
Good. Okay, anybody else on council? Hearing none. Any committees? Any current committee stuff? Departments, police. You've been a part of this police officer candidate that they're looking into, right, as far as interviewing and getting your input into that, okay? Fire, not here, ambulance, we heard from, library, okay, anything else? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say aye. Carried, we are adjourned at 7:13.
Yep. Don't forget, primary election tomorrow.
Who do I turn in?